Welcome back to another episode of Fresh Film Talk. I'm your host, Lavelle Revels. And today, for Black History Month, I got some special guests in the house. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Kennedy McPherson. I am the Public Relations Specialist at the Cincinnati Public Library.
And I'm Paul. I'm the social media specialist, and I also work for the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library. And I'm happy to be here today.
Happy to have you. And then, Paul, you also were on Lego Masters as well, right?
Yes, I was on Lego Masters that comes on Fox with my sister, and we finished third place. That was pretty fun on the
Okay.
show.
That's what's up. Definitely check that out if you have the time to do that. But I'm not, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right in. So today we have you guys here on the show because we have a black film series going on at the Forest Park Library branch in Cincinnati, Ohio. So Paul, tell me, how did that come about?
So about a year ago, I had the idea of wanting to have a Black film festival actually at the library. Due to our group, the Black Events Committee, being short-staffed, kind of didn't happen.
Hmm.
And then I decided to kind of have something smaller. And we had our first Black film series. That was October of last year, I believe,
October.
right? Yes. And that was, unfortunately, I missed it. I was away on vacation, but it was a great time from what I heard. It was a really good turnout, and we're hoping to have more people at our next event.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what inspired you to just say, "Hey, I want to have a black film festival"?
I think for me, seeing that we had a chance of having the Sundance Film Festival here in Cincinnati, and for me, I just love supporting the Black community. Before I moved here, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I actually had a business called MK Black. It was a nonprofit I co-founded with a former classmate of mine. We would support Black-owned businesses, so we would
Okay.
like highlight them, promote them, and that ended up being a spinoff for a gift box business featuring Black-owned products. My wife and I put together. So
Mm.
I came here. I wanted to get involved in the community, didn't know how. Then seeing that Sundance possibly be here, I thought to myself, why not try to have Black filmmakers at the library?
Mm.
And that's how this got started.
So would you say that's the main goal is because Sundance maybe have a possibility to be here as well to have a black film series to help, I guess, get more notoriety, more of notoriety for what's going on as far as like black filmmakers here in
I think so.
Cincinnati.
I think so. I think library also wants to be part of that community. And right now, we're not too much involved in the film industry. So I think it's the one way that we kind of break in
Mm.
and become part of that tight knit community.
Okay. So, what impact have you seen the series have in on local filmmakers and also the audience as well? Would you
I'm
say?
defer to you since I wasn't here the first time.
Well, it was really great to see a lot of people who went to the event because they were interested.
Hmm.
A lot of times, we can have an event and people are like, "Oh, like this is for my kids. I want to just, um, you know, get free resource, or I just want to do this."
Yeah.
But I think this event, people were seeking it out,
Yeah.
which was interesting. And I remember from the first event that was
Hmm.
at the Walnut Hills branch, and I was
Yes.
there for that because Paul was out of town.
Yes.
So that was my introduction to this,
Okay.
and it was like someone came all the way from Louisville
Hmm.
just because she had a craving to be around other Black creators
It's quite a
Hmm.
drive. It's
and
an hour and a
wanted
half
I
drive. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
pretty far.
and
Yeah.
she wanted a gift for it too, like
Yeah.
for the drawings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We had a gift card raffle, and she
Hmm.
ended up getting it was $25 gift card. But I mean,
It's
that
something. It's
helps
yeah.
contribute towards the gas for that.
Yes.
So that. But speaking about that, let's check out a recap of our Walnut Hills Library Black. Alrighty. So, I audience, if I guess if you didn't figure it out, I was also part of the Black Film series as well. Helped contribute a lot of things towards it as well, and then also helping putting on this event as well. So would you guys? So we had about, let's say, like 30 people come, or at least around that amount. What's the expectation for this amount or this go around?
So far we have about 94 people registered for this event. So hopefully more than double the last event to show up. So that's a lot of people, and we're hoping that they all really enjoy it and just have a good time learning about Black films.
So how were you guys able to get so many people to come this time? Because last time I was like, how can I get people to come? Let me let me entice by having like a gift card raffle. Let's free popcorn. red carpet, the whole nine. So how did you guys lure so many people to be interested in this event
Those
this
are
go
you,
round?
thanks to your media connections, pretty much.
I mean, low key, I'm like, how did we do that? But it is, I think it is just like, well, we definitely announced it to in-library staff, which is always great. But being ahead of it, and, I've been sharing like calendars
Mm-hmm.
or sharing it to local calendars,
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to local media. Um, and honestly, I'm really trying to think about it.
Also, the oral histories too that we do in the Story Center
Get the
as
oral
well.
histories.
Yeah, I've shared
Oh,
those,
yeah.
and those have resulted in some people signing up for the events. Those have been really helpful. Seeing the stories of the filmmakers has been very
Okay.
helpful for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, I'll keep it a buck.
Well, on your end.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. So, so I got the flyers, and then when Paul told me, hey, because at first we initially was trying to get 50 people to come, and then he's like, hey, I'm gonna up the amount of people coming. I was like, okay, cool.
I
It,
was like,
and then
we
like,
should up the
Yeah,
amount
no,
of
you're
people.
right.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, cool. All right, well, on Monday I'll try to push these flyers out, and then next thing we know, hey, push the capacity up to 85. I'm like at this point because we talked about, hey, should we do a commercial ad or something? And
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I had it mapped out, but then we ended up having like the snow that came on Sunday, so it's
Yes.
just
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
well, we got a lot of people that's coming anyways. Seems kind of like redundant at this point. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the amount of people that's coming, and I'm just like, yo, like how I'm thinking you guys are like working. Well, you guys are working magic, but I wasn't like I didn't know what you guys were doing. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
know it was a lot of people that were coming, so it was like cool. Like I don't have to feel like I won't say like a gimmick, but like how can I get more people to come out? Like I did
Mhm.
before. Um, but yeah, that was I mean, I expect it's gonna be a nice turnout. Honestly, yeah,
I do too.
yeah.
What's been helpful too is some of the filmmakers from the first event, they're resharing the stories of this event. That's been helpful
Yeah.
too in getting some of the word out there.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
true collaboration.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's shout out to Josiah and Brianna Gibson
Yes.
for helping out and getting that word pushed out also. So let's go on to some more questions here. So what kind of feedback have you received from the audience in the previous events, would you say? Kennedy, since Paul,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Paul
wasn't here,
there.
sorry,
I
I
know
can't
you
answer
weren't
that
there.
one.
I was thinking. A lot of it was definitely, and I kind of touched on it before, just this want for it.
Mhm.
And when we were, because it was like just a crazy month and trying to see like, okay, who can we get, who are interested,
Mhm.
and we ended up going to the Black Playwrights event.
Okay.
I think I went there just to like, hey
At the
guys,
Reading
just
branch,
so you're
right?
at the Reading
Yeah.
branch library, and I got to like sit in and listen in, and a lot of what they were talking about was like the collaboration part and how can we have a place to show the things that we are doing in our art.
Mhm.
So I know a few people from that event came to this to the last one,
Okay.
and I found it very interesting because it wasn't just like, oh, everyone, we're going to sit here and we're going to watch this film.
Mhm.
It was, how can we keep building this, and how can we, like the advice questions and the Q&A, like what I gathered from that was that everyone was there not just for the entertainment part, but I learned that a lot of the people just wanted to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, for the most part, I was just like, I think that was the biggest thing, like the want for it, the people who are just like, want to build it. But also, I felt like a lot of people didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
Like this kind of thing could exist in Cincinnati.
Right. Yeah, for
So
sure.
That was a big part of it.
Gotcha. And so, how do you encourage or invite more Black filmmakers to participate in ongoing events like this?
Well, I would say, like, definitely continue to connect and network, and just keep an eye out. I mean, a lot of the people, especially here, this from Christian Schultzman,
Okay.
who's a part of Cincinnati, and she's like, we live in a very like non-pretentious city,
Okay.
and I think a lot of people in our city
That's too much of a big word for me. Can you break that down?
Yeah, pretend. You know, we don't have this air of we're better than anyone. We don't have this air of we are, you know, the pinnacle. We are the top.
You have to
We're
work
just
for it. You
people.
have to work
We
for
work
it. Yeah.
for it. We don't just.
Are we living in the same city right now? I'm just kidding.
No. Well, and that's also a conversation to have where
Yeah.
it is like some people have a different view of it because they're in a different part of the industry than others.
Yeah.
But I would also say, as of Cincinnati, like downtown, despite its growing, despite its all the changes, we're not like in California or Hollywood or whatever, where you go there and it's like, I have to do everything I can just to get in the door. Like a lot of the people here, especially in the people that you're working with, are extremely easy to talk to.
Oh, okay.
And
That's great.
want to collaborate, and we want to be better. We don't think we are, even though we probably are. But it's not this thing that we're like there's not that shield of like I have to climb up here just to be seen. It's a pretty like collaborative city, I think.
Do you feel that's the case in Cincinnati?
Like
Everyone's collaborative and such, more so than other cities who are known for film, like Atlanta or Hollywood.
That's a great question. I feel like we're trying to get there, but when we have like a hub where a lot of people come to collaborate, some reason it doesn't last. It's not consistent, and it's just okay. Some people may feel like they're better in certain situations than others, and it's like I'm gonna branch out, do my own thing or not return. Where you have to realize, like even if that's the case, you're gonna have to sacrifice in order for us to be more noticed as a city of filmmakers here. Because once we segregate and do our own different things, it's just like we can't grow. Because like with filmmaking, it's a group effort. When you go to the movies, in credits, you see thousands of names, and it's just like you can't do this by yourself. You know what I mean? No matter how talented or good you are at many different aspects, it's impossible, to have the success of if you want to have like a successful like the Hollywood success. To get there, you can't do that on your own. You definitely need a group of people, a group of solid people that believe in you, and you all have the same goal. That's the only way we're gonna to rise. But
In a lot of ways, also money is a big part of it.
It is, yes.
yeah. But with resources that we have, I feel like for me, honestly, yeah, money definitely is a good key factor. But if everyone believes in, and has that goal and wants to sacrifice, you can probably make something worthwhile without having a huge budget. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just the resources that we have. It's doable, but you just have to believe in it. Yeah. But yeah, what impact do you think like these films were having on the Black community culturally?
Well, I think for me, not living in Cincinnati, not growing up here, I just want to understand kind of Black culture here in Cincinnati. That's why, for me, seeing these films kind of, it's a way of having my eyes open to what people went through in the area. And I hope people who aren't familiar with those people, Black people growing up in Cincinnati, understand what they went through. And that could lead to a great collaboration in the future, whether it's through the film industry or other organizations as well. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like let's.
Sorry, I'm trying to like.
Let me read the
which
question
one?
that I have written down.
Okay.
All right. So, what role do you think film plays in shaping and preserving Black culture?
Well, I think that we can only be what we see, like the quote, and we've had this very long history in film. One of the highest consumers of film are the Black community, because even way back in especially this late 60s and 70s, like that was the time where that was your downtime thing to do. That was the thing you could look forward to in the weekends. And through that, what we consume is what we believe that we can be. The beauty of movies in general is being able to kind of like escape. And I think that's just the one thing that film has done since the beginning to now. But in that, I think that shaping Black people, we need to see things that inspire us and make us feel like we are capable of doing things even in our lives at that moment we don't think we can. So if you're growing up and you're watching like majority, just like a white cast, then you're just going to think that's only for white people.
Yeah.
But if you start to see yourself in a role and you're like, oh, then I could be that. But then when we're like doing those, like when we do see those characters, what kind of characters are we seeing? Is it the person? Is it a tertiary character where it's like, oh, the maid. Oh, the person who's cleaning up. Oh, the person who's, the judge in that one scene. And we've kind of been building throughout the like film industry overall, like the kind of characters that Black people can be.
Yeah.
But there is still that thing that, people say like, well, there's no Black people in it, then why would I see it? Or I don't connect with the characters. But when we did start to watch movies where it was like the Black person is the hero.
Yeah.
The Black person is, the main character who is fighting, and we could kind of relate to those stories.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's like, oh, we can shape things. But I think to do it well, it's great to have like Black characters. I mean, Black filmmakers to do that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like we're telling our own story, not the perception of someone else. Their perception of it.
I like that answer.
Thanks. I'm glad
What you
you said that because
representation
I was
matters,
just,
yeah.
that's why
what matters, yeah.
Yeah.
like representation matters, but it's also about like who is doing that, who is representing us.
Yeah.
If it's someone who's like, this is how I think that, you and your culture live your life, then that's what we're going to be showing. However, if it's someone who is Black, it's like, this is how we live our life, then there's going to be easier, relation to that.
Yeah.
And belief in that.
I think to your point as well, it gives Black filmmakers a chance to portray how we are as a culture to other races as well, not just to Black people.
Right, yeah.
So this is our problems we face, our failures, successes we've had. We could tell our own story to anyone.
And it's authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as far as like how we're portrayed in media, how do you think other races view Black people?
Well, there are a lot of stereotypes in Black films as you see, especially back in the 80s and 90s and such, and before that too. So I think now that there's more opportunities for Black filmmakers out there, we have a chance to tell our story in the way that it should be told.
Yeah.
So we're trying to change the narrative. I think it's happening, but it's a slow process, but it's happening, I think. Would you agree with that? To some extent?
Yeah. I feel like if I had to answer that question, well, I guess I didn't answer the question, but I feel like there's a negative stigma behind us, and like how you said, representation and how we're portrayed. Not just with film, but also like music in general. Some of the popular music that's out right now, is that a good representation of how we want to be displayed or remembered by, or treated? That doesn't reflect on all of us, but that's public perception that's being pushed, you know what I mean, versus the more positive things, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, music is tough right now. It's very tough.
Music is tough.
Yeah. But also like reality TV and stuff like that, how
Yeah, I know what you mean.
As reality.
Not with you, not with yours, like not with your joint, not throwing any shade.
Yeah.
Yours is positive, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You were gonna say?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't anything. No.
Yeah, I do think with media in particular, and especially because it's so accessible, I think there's like this thing that's happening where we're holding on to the stories that we've been told
Yeah.
compared to the ones that we're trying to tell. as our actual like representation. Don't get me wrong, everyone is different. Like one Black person isn't exactly like this Black person. We all have different experiences, ways we've grown up, types of parents we've had, whatever. But I think that the problem that we have had is that we've had this whole history of being told how we are supposed to be, mixed with the reality of it. Like, you know, we're not going to just be like, we've always just had this great life. Like, we're still struggling as Black people due to the past.
Yeah.
But, and it is slowly growing to your point of, you know, how we are being portrayed. But it is like, I don't know, it's kind of like this thing where it's like this hope of, when we think about, oh, I'm trying to think of like a character or like these different phases of like film, where it's like at some point it was like, okay, like I said before, you're like the maid, you're like the nanny, you're like the person in the background, to it being like, oh, you can be this character, like you can be a judge, but you can only be the judge if you're really sassy and rude about it. Or you can be, you have to be very, like, if you're a Black woman, you have to have an attitude when you're acting. And it's just, is this thing that has diminished the actual art of acting and filmmaking in the Black community. And now we're finally getting to a place because there are more Black filmmakers of this era who can, like, get their perspectives out, that it can be like, hey, like, I can have a nice home, you know, like, Black people can have a nice home.
Right.
In a movie. And
Without
they
being
don't
like
have
loud
to be,
or whatever, resulting to
loud.
crime, things like that.
Exactly.
Or selling drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crime have to be a part of these, like, just all these negative things. Like, that's the association that we've always had in films and everything. And then finally, we do get to be like Olivia Pope, or we do get to be there's another all the characters I've ever known in my life. Blinked out. But it is like, you know, teaching ourselves like these things are possible. And I think that's only being shown in the last like 20, 30 years. More like consistently, I would say there are older films and things that would display like actually like, you know, like the Jeffersons. But even that idea is like we're moving on up, like just to get to the place of how all these other people are already living.
I would say the Cosby Show broke a stereotype, but now Bill Cosby has his own issues, unfortunately. Back then, it was a groundbreaking show.
Well, and it still is a groundbreaking show. Like you know, a doctor, like a Black family that loves each other, that isn't broken, that isn't, oh, we're just here just to be just like, you know, our white counterparts or whatever. Like it is like having shows like that are important because that is what teaches us like what can be normal or what is normal in some cases.
Yeah. And I found this real interesting because this is coming from perspective of non-filmmakers, you know what I mean? So with you having that perspective and then us as filmmakers having the same perspective, how do you think we can make a change? I know, like you mentioned, like the Cosby Show and the Jeffersons, those type of shows that show positive, that show a positive light on African Americans in particular. But has it done enough for us to be respected? Do you think?
I think it was a good stepping stone. I would say. Now that aired a long time ago too. These shows, at this point. I think it was a good start, but there's still a lot of work to be done right now. I think there's more opportunities today than there were back then. Whether it's on TV, whether it's through film, but we still have to come together and just make sure that our voices are heard. I think the talent is there. It's just a matter of getting that break to make sure your film is shown in front of the right audience and such.
Gotcha.
And I'm also thinking about even with that, like I feel like in the 90s especially, like there were so many really great shows that highlighted like people of color and Black people. Like I'm thinking about like Martin. I'm thinking about
Living Single.
Was after the Cosby Show.
Different World.
Half and Half.
Like Family
Remember
Matters.
Living
UPN?
Single,
All those
like
shows?
all of these.
Yeah.
Huh?
UPN, remember that UPN?
The
Yeah.
UPN block, yeah,
You
like
remember that?
one on
Before your
one
time?
and
101, remember that?
girlfriends and all
It was
that.
before my time.
The Parkers?
Girlfriends,
Yeah.
the Parkers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, like all of those shows, like I grew up with or watched or whatever. I'm like, don't feel like, and I could be wrong.
Mm.
That's still happening. Like,
Only most recent show we've had is Blackish. That's about
Exactly.
it, and that's over with now. So there's not. Are there any good shows right now that portray a black family in a positive light? I don't know if there is. Are there any?
especially as a sitcom.
As a sitcom,
like I
yeah.
can, like, there's dramas for sure.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like a lot of films that are like more like soap opera or whatever. But
Mhm.
I can't think of any like families or getting together, a group of friends who are hanging out together right now.
I would say, I would say the Miss Pat show. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Miss Pat. Comes on BET Plus. So with that show, I would say the message, focus on the message and not the delivery, because
Okay.
it is a explicit verbal show. I would say that, but it does have a lot of like key moments in there where it's like, okay, it's relatable amongst the black community, especially the situations that they have going on there. So I would recommend to check it out, but it's not for everybody though.
Okay.
And then there's some other shows like The Neighborhood
Mhm.
is one. I would even throw in Abbott Elementary. It's not necessarily like
Oh,
an all like
That's,
a,
well,
yeah, that could
yeah.
kind of
But
work.
I
Yeah,
definitely-
yeah,
I
that could
love
work.
Abbott
That's a good show.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Yeah,
and then the Upshaws.
I heard
I-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's still some out there. It's just not
It's just as-
that golden age, like that golden 90s,
Mhm.
2000 age. I see what you're saying. For
Do you,
sure.
do you think that the platform that the film or show is on
Mhm.
affects it?
Will fence
Affects like the popularity of it?
It's like Black was on ABC. It's a nationally televised
Yeah.
station, whereas other shows like this one you
Like
mentioned, it's on BET.
Yeah.
It's harder
like,
to access that.
it's really, so that's more of like a marketing thing, which I'm trying to tap into a little bit. But it's really how the show is marketed, and also how authentic it is too. You know what I mean? Because some of the feedback that I would hear about, even with a show like Blackish that had a long run, is it wasn't as relatable. Like I get half and half mixes on that when we talk about Blackish, like, you know, around our community, but it wasn't like as off. It was more like safe for everyone, but it didn't take
Right.
it. It
'Cause
didn't.
it's on national TV.
Well,
That's
yeah.
why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what I like about the Miss Pat show, with especially being on BT platform, it seems like the handcuffs are off with
Mhm.
that. So again, it's not for everybody, but it does have key messages that's more up to date and relatable in the black community. Yeah, that'd be my answer.
Check it out and see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk,
Let's
let's
go,
talk about
let's go,
the
let's go.
event. Let's
I'm loose.
some more challenging questions. So I'll start off with, so what challenges have you faced when organizing this event and putting it together?
Initially, my concern was making sure enough people show up to the event. We only had about 30 or 40 before,
Yeah.
and my goal was to top that.
Yeah.
And I think thanks to their previous filmmakers sharing about this event, having WCPO come out there as well for oral history recording, that's been really helpful and instrumental in us having over 90 people registered for this event so far. So hopefully this can continue going forward. We're hoping to have this be a quarterly series,
Mm-hmm.
and long term, possibly
You,
next
you
year.
can't cheat and look at the questions.
No,
You can't
I'm not
cheat.
looking. I'm
Yeah,
not
that-
looking.
that-
Okay, never mind. Never mind. I'll stop talking. I'll stop
No,
talking.
It's all good.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's all good. I'm just messing around. Go ahead. It's all good.
I'll
That was
save
gonna
it.
be my next question. Go ahead.
I'm done. That was it. I'll save it for later on. It's fine.
No, it's cool.
No, I'm gonna say so originally the whole point of this was to become a Black film festival. That was the initial plan. Not a one day event,
Mhm.
like a week-long event. That was the plan.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to have that potentially next year at the library, and then we could have filmmakers throughout the week, possibly at different locations as well, and then just really make it a big event for the entire city of Cincinnati.
Okay.
That's the plan, but it depends on our budget, and
Yeah.
filmmakers get involved, the right date. So we'll see. So TBD on that one.
So if this is not TMI, so how do you get a budget? How does a library get a budget for something like this to sponsor, or does the budget come from different sponsors, or how
That's a
does
good
that
question.
happen?
We're trying to figure out right now. That's the
Okay,
problem. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
I'm with you.
yeah, our Black Events Committee has a budget, but it's for the entire year. We have other things happening. So
Yeah.
something like this will be too large for that one pot.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to get budget from elsewhere and then use that for this possible big event.
Have you guys thought like any ideas of possibly like you can just throw out, maybe we could throw out in the universe and see if it manifests, or
We'll see how this goes first, and then we'll reach out after this event.
Okay.
Well, I would love to have people who are just naturally inspired or care about this kind of event. And I think that exists. It's just as they just don't know about it yet. So
Yeah.
I think, and part of that is just keep doing it and keep growing it. And the more that people are interested, the more that we are going to naturally have people come to us and say, hey, like, I want to help support this in some way. Whether that's just, I want to help with, setting up. I want to help spread the word. I want to help fund it in some way. There are many different routes for it.
Yeah.
And we just do our part in hopes that it just continues to build.
Are people able to donate to the event, or is that like frowned upon, or how does that work? But I know it's like certain things you can't do with the library, but how?
So
Okay.
it's a process to donate for this event. All donations have to go through the foundation, to the library, not to us directly. And that's the process there. So yeah, if you wanted to designate funding for this event, you could probably do that. I'm pretty sure you can do that, but it has to go through our foundation first. And that's the process. So it's a possibility for sure. Yes.
What kind of foundations is that?
Library Foundation. So
Okay.
everything, all donors for whatever you want to do, it could be a general fund. I want money for use for this specific collection or event. Our foundation has to conduct that.
So, I think you may have touched on it. So, let's say if I donated right to the foundation, can I say, okay, I want this specifically to go to the Black Film Series, or does the foundation determine where those monies go?
So for a specific event, I don't know for sure, but I want to say yes, you can do that. You can determine where it goes. to
Okay.
use. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Even if it's not the actual event, it could just go to the committee.
Yes.
That then goes to the event. So yeah, I think
For
that's
sure,
it's
first
happened.
possibility. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can designate whatever you want to do for that donation.
Okay. Okay. So I was
Want to
going-
donate?
I mean, we got donors out there. I mean, I feel like my contribution. I feel
You've
like I
been
done
great.
I
You've
mean,
been really
you
helpful.
are
Yes.
Yeah,
our
yeah,
partners.
yeah. But I like that joke, by the way. I see you getting your sister.
I'm
see,
hilarious.
you got okay. Everybody's loosening up now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So you said as far as the film series, you want to do this every quarter. You thinking?
Yeah, I think every month is just too much on our
Yeah.
plate right now. I think every quarter, so I think it's too much, right?
Oh yeah, that was my other thought. Is another challenge is doing something that we want to make so big
Mm-hmm.
and having our lives in addition to that.
Yes.
Which I think, and I don't know what your views are on this. I know Brianna kind of talked about it in the last installment that we had, where it's she's working and also as a mother and also is trying to build her career, and it's true for everything. But having this dream, but also I have to work, I have to do my everyday job. We are lucky in the sense that we have the kind of job that allows us to use the free resources that we have and the great spaces that we have already there to help in support of it. But what is your kind of view of you want to build your career and do all of these things? I don't know if you do anything outside of production and film.
No, this is all I do.
You're right.
It's
Yeah.
all I do
Full-time for
now.
you?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
full time for me.
Okay.
So
But I would say before I went full time, yeah, it was pretty much it's pretty much what am I willing to sacrifice in order to achieve my dreams? You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to make some tough decisions. You know what I mean? So regardless what your situation is, it's just more of okay, is this worth, getting here? So is me, maybe like let's say Brianna, for example, using her not for example, but just using her situation. Hey, I have a kid, but I want to be, a Hollywood actress. What sacrifices do I have to make in order to get there? You know what I mean? So those are questions you're gonna have to ask yourself, and those are decisions you're gonna have to live with. Is it worth, not having as much time with my child and applying that to my craft so I can get to where I want to go. You know what I mean? So I mean everybody's situation is a little bit different. Just like, hey, you may have an ailing mother and she doesn't have that much time left, but hey, you're young, you're in your prime. Like, hey, I got a chance to get here, so I may have to. But although like my mom, she might not, I want to spend as much time with my mom as I can to cherish those memories, but I have to sacrifice that in order to get to where I want to go. And those are decisions you have to live with. Is it worth it? Only time will tell. But
who are the people in your life who has helped you or supported you through this?
Yeah.
I'm asking you. Yeah.
Okay. Repeat the question. My bad. I think I misinterpreted what you said.
No,
My
you're
bad.
you're good. Who are the people in your life who have supported you or who has been like a backbone for you?
Yeah, I would say my wife, for sure. Like I couldn't. These are like tough decisions. So I went from a good paying job to saying, you know what, I'm tired of this. It's stressing me out. You know what I mean? Like I still got enough money to like you don't have to worry about the bill situation and all that. We can still keep everything the same. Still maintain the same lifestyle. It's just I'm not gonna be working a 9 to 5 no more. I can't do it no more. You know what I mean? And then my mom for sure. I mean these are like tough. The two people that I love the most. You know what I mean? I had to tell them like regardless what you think, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. So it's just you may not be with it right now at this particular time, but I'm gonna work hard so you can see, so you can, because they may not see your vision at the time. Only you can see your vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like I have to compartmentalize how they think. You know what I mean? And then push that to the side and say, you know what? Even though they might be hurt with this situation, or maybe I agree with where I'm going, you know, hey, I gotta still do what I need to do to push it.
Do they see your vision now at this point in time, you think?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah. They see it now where I'm going. I say they see it a lot better, than before. Because before it's just like, yo, you just, spontaneously did this, out
Yeah.
the blue. You know what I mean? But time going forward, it's been 3 years now, so
Nice.
I think they see a lot clearer now.
That's good.
Yeah,
Your authentic self.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
That's what's up.
Well, let me get back to interviewing you guys. This is interviewing me. Oh my gosh. All right. So, why is this important to highlight Black filmmakers specifically? So, I know you guys touched on that a little bit, but let's dive deep more into it. Let's get more meat on these potatoes here.
Let's go.
I think for me, it's just a matter of, as you said earlier, just kind of doing a deep dive into Black culture. This is the way portraying it through film, I think. And I think by having it in a library, it makes it accessible to anyone as well. It's a free event. You can come, doesn't matter your race at all. You can come see the film, just kind of learn, see the work of a Black filmmaker about Black culture. And to me, that's really important. And I'm just really happy the library is part of that right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, like, just because it is, to your point, the Black film series, it doesn't necessarily mean only Black people are welcome to be
Anyone's
here.
welcome to be here.
Everyone is welcome to be there. It is just a platform to, like, highlight, hey, Black people, so that at least for the Black community, we know, like, oh, like, that includes me. Like, I'm included in something, not, just sitting on the wayside and waiting for my opportunity to be a part of something. It's so important to have our perspective, as we've touched on, but it's also important to, like, feel like opportunities are there.
Yeah.
And to keep growing it and to keep, like, I don't know, like, building whatever that we are trying to build and continue it going.
Yeah.
Which I feel like isn't getting into the meat or potatoes of the situation. But I mean, I don't know. What would you say are
Yeah, I think it's real important. I remember having this discussion with Brianna Gibson, and we were just talking about so our film that we submitted. It's called Out of Bounds. We submitted that in film festivals, and a lot of film festivals were not accepting it. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, like where am I submitting these film festivals? Where am I submitting this film to in these film festivals? And like, are we the target audience for that particular festival? You know what I mean?
right?
So
Point. Yeah.
so a lot of film festivals are have a specific audience, you know what I mean? And it's not including us, unfortunately, unless it's put on by us. And we don't have a lot of those opportunities here. And she was like, "Hey, well, what about the Black Film Series?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, ironically, you shot me an email saying, "Hey, we're coming back in February," like pretty much that same day, which was crazy. So I was like, "Okay." So yeah, I mean, that is definitely giving an opportunity to a lot of Black filmmakers. Definitely giving inspiration, and then something to come to and feel included. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll come to these organizations and you're like the one or two Black person there. Not saying that's bad, but you'll like to at least feel included. And sometimes it's like you're not included.
Hard to relate sometimes
You know
as
what I
well
mean?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be my answer to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer. Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's move on to the next question here. So, what do you think mainstream media is still missing when it comes to Black storytelling? So I think we touched on that a little bit, but again, meat and potatoes.
I think a lot of time you still see some of those stereotypes portrayed in the media and the film and the music, especially too. So it's just about us making sure we have a seat at the table, that we're able to tell our own story, as you said, very authentically. I think that's the goal. So I think we're getting there, but we still have a long way to go.
And I also think we need consistency.
Mm.
And it's not just this one really great movie that really highlighted how Black people are portrayed. And it's like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years later that we have a really great movie that we saw again. There's that. And I also think that I really wish that in mainstream media we can learn how to portray Black people as having all emotional spectrums. A lot of times, for years, it's like we're either the comedy relief, or we are the very serious, like high-powered person. And there's not a lot of like movies out there. Well, I would say there are definitely a lot of movies, but there's not a lot of like. It's not a equal amount of movies out there in Black films where we can be portrayed crying and it be okay, or we can be portrayed, like any other movie having.
So what
I
you're,
feel like I'm just like.
so what
you
you're
know
saying,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like
So
it's like not
a film where we're just people will happen to be Black, essentially, not based
Exactly.
on being angry, being upset, things like that,
Exactly.
stereotype. Just being people happen to be Black.
being people who happen to be Black and have these same emotions as every other person. And it's not this, thing where it's like it has to be shown in this way.
Those are
and
rare. Those are rare films.
They're very rare.
Yeah.
Well, and even when I'm thinking about, like, say when we talk about, I am thinking of Sandra, like Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with
don't
Murder.
look at me when it comes
yeah.
to that.
I can't think of her last name.
Yeah.
But she, like,
Rhymes. Yeah.
thank
Oh,
you.
Shonda Rhimes.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
okay.
I know, I said Shonda.
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes. Edit that out. With like shows like Shonda Rhimes shows, and it has like How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal and Grey's Anatomy, and you think about the Black female characters in particular,
Yeah.
and a lot of times it's like, and I think she does a pretty good job of this too. when we have to present in the world already as Black women, we have to be presented as strong.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be presented as, you know, in charge. We have to be presented as we have a handle on everything, even when we don't.
Yeah.
And there are times in those shows where she will have a scene where we're crying, but we're crying alone. Or we're crying because the weight of the world is on us, and we have to, like, you know, be the strong woman, the strong Black woman. And finally, we have those like intimate moments. Whereas in other films or movies or things, you don't have that expectation for Black women. I mean, for women in those other kind of stories. Like, they can cry and it's acceptable. And like, I don't want to be like,
So you're
but,
saying
you know, like-
crying is showing
No,
us
I mean, like-
well,
weakness,
just
essentially,
showing
yeah.
weakness and vulnerability. Like, that's not something that's always highlighted in movies and things. Like, that's the thing that I really feel like is missing. Like, I want to feel like it's okay that I can cry and someone's not going to tell me, why are you crying? You should be strong. You should be able to handle this. But if another girl cries, you'd be like, oh, why are you crying?
Yeah.
Like, there isn't that kind of like all aroundness.
What you see
all
in
of the
films,
time.
it leads to everyday like bias and such.
Yeah, well, if I'm
Yeah.
only taught to be strong, then I feel like I can only go into the world and be strong. I
Exactly.
can never just be vulnerable. I
Mhm.
can never just have a weak moment. And I think that is the thing.
And is that
for
coming
me.
from being a Black person in general or a Black woman, would you say?
Definitely in general, me personally, because I'm a Black woman and have experienced that, yes. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think that Black men, and clearly we've already talked about this, are portrayed in a way where you can have a range of emotions or feelings or things and
Like-
it's represented? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do we have I think right now we're in a golden age when it comes to like making movies, because now we have platforms like Tubi, platforms like, I think Amazon Prime used to be have it where you can just, independent filmmakers can upload a video or a movie and you can check it out. So we're telling more of our stories. It's just, is there an audience out there seeking that? You know what I mean?
That's the key.
well,
His
that's
audience,
the thing.
yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like mainstream media, I feel like, is where that's lagging.
Yeah, but I think it's also on us as an audience to voice that and also support, because it's not like, because they have things that come on or they put out where it does highlight Black folks in a positive manner, but are we supporting those shows? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the shows that we are supporting, you know, it may show us in a negative light, you know what I mean, or have
Mhm.
some type of negative connotation behind it, you know what I mean, where it's stereotypical
Mm-hmm.
behind it. But I do think it's a lot of content out there that does show us in a positive light. It's just we have to do a little bit more digging to
So how can we
Okay.
make those films more accessible for the general public?
doing it right now.
Let's
Put
okay.
on the- put
Okay,
on
we're
the
in the
black-
right
you
track
moving
then.
in-
Yeah.
in the right
We're
direction.
Here for.
Putting on a Black film series like this, and then it's growing as well. So as you mentioned before, the first one, okay, we wanted to do 35 people turn out and pretty much max that out. Okay, how can we up it up a notch? You know, we wanted to get a 50-person turnout, and you're almost at 100. You know, registration. So you're moving so you guys are, you know, not particular filmmakers, but you're helping us out by creating events like this and supporting events like this and marketing events like this, and hopefully this is like some type of domino effect. Maybe somebody else might get inspired and want to put their event on as well, and we have events going on simultaneously, where we can attend this and have more people acknowledge us, and then also acknowledge us and perceive us in more of in a positive light versus how
Stereotypical light, essentially. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So kudos to you guys for helping out.
Well, thanks to you for finding the
Yeah,
filmmakers.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, anything I can do to support, I'm with it. So, how can local Black filmmakers gain more visibility outside of events like this? Would you say? What would be your thoughts?
Um, well, I think a key component to one of these events we're hosting is like the networking aspect of things. So I think by having these events, we hope that local filmmakers and such and actors, actresses can connect
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of create films on their own, and then maybe have their own film festivals to show off their films that they created. So that's the goal.
Yeah.
Is when for us to have the networking in place where you all can create
Yeah.
your own films. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it, at least.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there are like two ways to go about getting to that point, which is either creating the space yourself or working hard to work within spaces that are already created
Yeah.
and trying to find your way through it. I think that what we're doing with this event and what is growing is that like we're going to create the space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is just one example. Like you have been collaborating with people for years already,
Yeah.
and using your connections and networking and everything. And we are just this place where we can kind of hold it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it exists. I think that there's just needs to be this understanding or just the knowledge about it
Yeah.
that will actually help it like grow outside of just events like this.
Yeah, I would say with events like this, as far as outside of events like this, but also with the help with events like this, I think it gives Black people in general that may have a interest in filmmaking, but not a idea where to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So by having this type of event, it's like, hold on, it's Black people that make film, because sometimes you may want to jump in this space, but again, you see more other races doing this versus the your particular race, so that may make you feel one, intrigued, also a little bit excited to attend an event like this. But in order to grow, we have to also go to other events outside of this that
Right.
may not be geared highlighting just Black people, but we also have to attend those other events in order to, like you said, network and get to those particular places that we want to go to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about the film festival or
Mhm.
like when you win awards. Like, what is that process like?
I mean, it depends. It's like different ones. So you have like film competitions, and you also have film festivals. So film festivals, in particular, there's a website called Free Filmway, which is a hub of film festivals that you can submit your films to. So it's pretty much you submit it, you pay for it, you pay a fee, submit it, and then someone looks at it, and they'll let you know if you got accepted. If accepted, usually they have different categories or nominations that you can win particular so like best film, best actor, best actress, supporting actor, et cetera, et cetera. So you have things like that. Then you have film competitions where um, a lot of them guarantee, okay, you pretty much submit a higher price, and then but you pretty much have a guarantee of your film being screened. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah.
And then also plus side with that also comes the awards and things like that. So that's what that looks like as far as that aspect.
Are those like regional, national,
Mhm.
state?
No, well, the one so film freeway in particular is regional, national,
Okay.
within the state. So
Okay.
it pretty much has like a filter you can use. So you can say, hey, specifically for Cincinnati, Ohio, what film festivals are going on.
Cool.
Yeah, and then also like in Ohio, you can see it gives you like a larger list of film festivals that are going on in the state of Ohio. So
That's pretty cool.
And that's
yeah.
geared to all film people. Like,
Mhm.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Yeah.
yeah. Are you guys thinking about entering the film festival? Or?
Oh no, I don't.
I want to do one of those competitions.
You want to host one? The library?
No, I just want to
Oh, you're-
compete
You want to
so I can get an award.
participate?
No,
You want to participate
participate in
in a film
in-
competition?
I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna start being in the film industry.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna
as a-
catapult right after this podcast. I'm gonna be like, actually,
Oh,
guys
okay.
at the library. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, questions are done now. Moving on.
I'm going to create a film. I am inspired.
So, have there been any standout moments or films of the past event that we had that really resonated with you?
Ooh, well, you
Well,
are.
Paul,
I wasn't there,
you weren't
so
there, so. But did you watch the films though?
half
Or
of them. It's
okay,
been a while too,
Yeah, it
honestly.
was a while
yeah,
I'll
ago.
go. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Michaela's
I
film.
knew you was gonna say Michaela.
Well, I think everyone, yeah. Well, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Just because it was, it was based off of like film noir,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just Imbriana was in that film. I don't know
Yeah.
if she had one or two.
Yeah, too.
She had two.
Mhm.
Okay, the one I'm thinking of is the one with the little girl.
Yeah.
That one was really cool. I really liked it because of the kind of film it was. I'm not like a horror filmer, like
Yeah,
lover
that
or
was called
anything.
the babysitter.
The babysitter.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of cool to see like
Hmm.
black people actors in that kind of film. I think that was just a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
also a anthology series as well that she has
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So yeah, so she has. I think she's on season 2 right now.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, so she has like more if you want to check them out.
I probably won't because I get scared easily. But what I did see was really
I love
cool.
horror
Yeah.
films actually.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Favorite
cool.
genre.
You
Yeah.
tell me
So
the ones I
noir
can
Okay.
watch.
stories.
I like the one that was more of a comedy. It was like love.
Percentage of Love.
Percentage
Yeah.
of Love. That was
So
like funny.
yeah, so that one's actually part of a film fest or a film competition called Winter Film here locally in Cincinnati, Ohio, which actually is going on right now. But yeah, that was part of that, and yeah, it was pretty cool to shoot. We shot that in 2 days.
Where did you
Really?
shoot that?
Oh.
at?
Union Hall, down over the Rhine.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
Wow.
was really cool.
yeah.
2
Thanks.
days.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a journey
Yeah.
itself. It was yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to do. So so these are some personal questions. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So what personally drives your passion for curating this event? Would you say?
For me personally, I just wanted a connection to the Black community since I don't know a lot of people here, and this is my way of kind of doing that, getting involved in this
Mm-hmm.
industry somewhat. So that's what drives me pretty much. Just I want to connect some more Black folks and just be part of the community here in Cincinnati.
Paul says, "I need more Black friends."
I mean, basically,
How can I get you guys?
Actually, Keith,
That was just
I think he just wants to hang out with you.
Yeah. We can hang out after this, Paul.
Okay,
You got
okay.
my number.
I do, yeah.
Anytime you want to hang out, let me know.
Look at that.
Got you, man.
Paul made a friend.
oh yeah, thanks too.
Paul been had a friend.
I can be your friend. Too.
Okay,
So yeah,
Work friend.
Work
No.
friend,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have 2 Black friends.
There we go.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Went from 0 to 2 just like that.
Look at that. I would say I am just a lover of the arts. I was always an art kid, whether it was like music or theater or
Hold on,
art.
pause, time out. So you were an art kid. What type of art did you participate in?
all kinds of art.
Oh, you gotta dive into
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
let-
what
no,
is it?
no,
I
we wanna
wanna
well,
be shy.
I was don't be shy. I played a lot in instruments growing up. I played violin when I was a kid, and then I was in drumline. I was in band, so I love the art of performing.
So how did you go from violin to the drum line?
Okay, so I was
You was a Nick Cannon fan growing up, huh?
a Nick Cannon fan.
Yeah.
No, well, Drumline is a great movie, though.
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
that.
That's a good movie.
It
yeah.
just happened where I grew up playing violin. My older sister did too.
Mhm.
And it was from like kindergarten to like 6th grade. And then I went to junior high school to join their orchestra. And then they got rid of the orchestra the year I came in. So they were like, oh, but we have the xylophone. You can play that. So I played the xylophone for 2 years
Wow.
because they have the
Wow.
same like notes. And then when it was high school, a few friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna join the drum line," and I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay, I'll do that." And then I was in drumline for 4 years,
Mhm.
and it was a blast. Like I just really loved. I loved winter concerts. I loved whenever we got to perform somewhere when we did the Reds parade. Like I just really enjoyed performing. I always loved theater. I always loved musicals and just this otherworldly kind of aspect to that kind of like to movies in particular, like Dreamgirls. Forget about it. Hairspray. I know all the words. Like,
So, were you part of the drama club in high school by any chance?
funny enough, I was not part of the drama club because, well, for the most part, I was in dance team.
Okay.
But it was just like, honestly, like I didn't even know we had one until I was like a senior.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Like it was like this very like niche group of kids who were like, we're gonna have a drama club. And then I just slowly ended up like being kind of like friends with them. I went to a very small school, so it was just like whatever. But
What school did you go to?
Clark Montessori.
Okay.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Okay.
Not too much. Yeah.
A very small school. Well, like I graduated with like 84 people. So is that
That's
small
pretty
to
small.
you?
Mine
Yeah.
was like 350
Yeah.
Okay.
freshman class. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Oh, you just-
as long as I graduated, you know, 'cause, well, I
Yeah.
went to two schools. I went to Mount Healthy High School, and then also I went to Scarlet Oaks Vocational School as well.
Okay.
So it
Where's
was,
that one at?
in Sharonville.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I was a Montessori kid, so my whole life.
So what's the difference, you know, between like a Montessori and a public school?
Well, it is a public school. I think like traditional like learning, Montessori learning, from what I remember, is basically just like working with your hands, using like everyday items is the best way that is coming to my mind. In high school in particular,
It's less rigid, I think. Montessori.
it's,
a little
yeah,
bit,
well,
yeah.
it allows you to kind of just work in your environment.
Like, I guess,
so
I think it promotes creativity more.
more
I think,
creativity.
yeah.
Yeah, like in high school, we were learning about like leadership, and that was important. They made us go to camp every year. They were like, we didn't sit at desks, we sat at tables where we could have a community of students we could work with.
You went to one of them schools.
That's why I didn't want to get into that. I'm like, oh yeah, Montessori is just this.
My
and
daughter
then-
went to the Montessori school
Okay.
in Milwaukee before moving here. Now she's in a
Oh, okay,
traditional
cool.
school. So I kind of understand that a little bit, but not the
Yeah.
high school part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, high
Yeah.
school, it does get kind of interesting
Yeah.
because it's like we're used to, hey, you're going to pull out a mat. Like in elementary, you're like, you pull out a little mat or your rug, and then you play with these like blocks,
Mhm.
and then you do your activity, and then you make sure you put it up. And then when you're in high school, it's like, how are we balancing making sure I get into college
Yes.
with like, you know,
Yeah,
Montessori
recess.
learning?
Yeah, recess half the day.
I mean, yeah, no, I'm kidding. Well, I always say it's really interesting because, like, you're 18, you can
Yeah.
vote, and you're on your way to college. But when you go to your math class, we're all sitting in a circle with our legs crossed, and it's
That-
not even weird.
Is
Like,
that what
it
actually
is-
happened?
Yeah, we would just
Really?
like sit around. We're
Interesting.
circled up.
Okay.
See, this is. I thought we were talking
I'm not
about
judging
film.
you at all. I'm just
Hey,
curious.
this
I'm
is-
just
yeah.
curious about it.
No,
Yeah, I was
but I
too.
will say, like, Montessori kids come out very well rounded because
Yeah.
not only did we have the academic part, it was just like very like people centered, and we had to learn how to work with people and work in groups and teamwork and community.
Which is a really important life skill. Right.
Well, yeah, exactly. All of the life skills. I can literally tell if a kid went to a Montessori school just by, or a person went to one just by having a conversation with them. It also included a lot of empathy and like working through things, peer leadership. Like there was a lot of things that I learned throughout my time in school that are extremely like I need these for my everyday job. Maybe that's why I got this job. I don't know. But
Yeah.
but I will say a lot of library people went to Montessori schools,
Yeah.
in particular my high school. We got like 10 of us.
Really?
I went to Montessori school when I was in kindergarten. My parents
How'd
went
that
to,
go?
My parents went to a PTA or a parents teacher conference.
Mhm.
It's like, nah, you gotta get up out of here.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
that's very accurate.
Nah,
It's not for everyone.
It's not.
Like,
No, some kids
Yeah.
need more structure, but some
Mhm.
kids so that they thrive in Montessori environments. Depends on the kid, I guess.
Nah,
And the teachers. Yeah.
I would not have been able to sit at a desk most of my days in school. I would not have been able.
Yeah. But let's move on to the next question here. So, how did you get involved in film and in the community programming? I guess we kind of went over that, right?
I got involved because Paul went out of town and was like, "Oh, hey, can you?"
Oh yeah, I remember
And I
that.
was just like, "Yeah, okay." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Well,
Like it's like it's not
so
like.
the Black Events Committee at the library, we were short staffed at the time, and no
Mhm.
one could make the event. And
Yeah.
I'm really fortunate you were able to make it out, and now you're part of the team now,
Dang.
so it's been great.
That just
You
is
said
how
you was
my life
like
is.
you wasn't even on top on the list. You were like
I wasn't
number
You were like
10.
number,
on
you were
the
like two or
list.
you were like three, number three on the list.
And
No.
that's
People,
crazy. Who was number one?
well, people on the committee because she's on the committee right now. That's why.
Dang.
I
And
just
she's
happened to be his
that's
coworker,
all. Yeah,
and
worked
he was
out.
just like, "Oh, hey,
Well, I wanted someone black to be there.
you're a black person.
Well, that's
How about you be the person to go to this event?"
well, it
And
makes
I was
sense,
just
right?
like, "Yeah, it does."
It makes sense. Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it helps that I do enjoy film and the arts.
So there you go. It's meant to be.
So did you guys like have a relationship prior to this, or was it just
I've
like
never seen this man before that time. No, we we literally work in the same department.
Oh,
We work
okay.
together all of the
Because
time.
we started in July though, our team.
I
last
did.
year.
Yes.
yeah. Oh, okay?
Yeah, she's
I'm
relatively
extremely
new.
new.
Yeah.
So you haven't been in your position for like a year yet.
Mm-mm.
Dang, that's crazy.
But I'm
And you're-
doing well, right?
Yeah.
She's doing well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very successful.
Oh, that's so kind.
So, what would you say is the most rewarding part about putting this event together?
I mean, for me, it's gonna be just
Getting
seeing
more
people,
friends. Yes.
people,
Yeah.
their reaction after seeing the films and hear the questions they pose, and just seeing the filmmakers talk about their experiences with the film, about being a filmmaker. That's what I want to see, and I can't wait. I missed it the first time.
Yeah.
Excited to see it the second time.
Yeah, I would say I'm a big process person. I like the part of like the setting up to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, like even compared to last time, because I was a part of it for the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, okay, what are all the things that we can just try and do, and how can we get the place? What place should we do? Like, I
Mhm.
love that we are able to get the Forest Park branch for this event.
Yes.
I love the fact that we could collaborate with the Story Center team to collect oral histories so that at least we have like this captured and within the library. And years from now, you know, we can look back on it and be like, hey, like, look at what we were doing back
Mhm.
then. I love the idea that we can use the resources we already have, like a journalist I already worked with, and I could say, hey, like, you know, do you think that we can also do something for the Black Film Series? I think this would be interesting. And that we can also just use the resources we already have at the library,
Mhm.
like printing flyers. We can do 20 or up to 33 pages, but not for color. So up to 20 pages for free every day.
Oh,
Like
wow.
that is a resource that we already have that we can then put into this.
Is that you personally, or is that
That's
Anyone,
everybody.
anyone,
Everybody.
anyone,
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, 20
Or,
color,
you know.
33 black and white sheets
Mhm.
per day
what?
for anyone. Yeah, you know that?
No,
there you
like
go,
they
learn
they
something.
charged me
Yeah.
last time I was up there. I didn't.
Well, it
Wait,
depends on how
many sheets
many.
you have? If you go above that, you gotta pay. But what's less than that, it
it's
should be
probably
free.
like 20 or something like
It
that.
should be
maybe.
free.
Should be free.
It should be free.
Oh man, that's crazy.
What
This,
branch was that? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but and it's like, you know, a free space, like
Yeah.
free resources, all of these things that we already just have and we can use it
hmm
is like so cool. And our part of it is just being able to like use the resources. So I love that aspect of it. I think that's rewarding because it's like actually doing the thing that you are preaching to everyone is great, and like you're using it. Like I am using library resources.
so, what other resources is out there for the patrons and audience members that are watching?
Oh,
that
that's
we
a
can,
lot.
we
That's a
can
lot of
utilize?
resources, yeah.
You want to see Black films? You can get a Black film at the library for free. Like
Mhm.
you can get
Also,
DVDs.
also online through Canopy as well. We have a streaming service, kind of like Netflix, but it's called
Mhm.
Canopy. It's free with your library card. That's a great resource to use.
You can find books of
Hold
all
on.
kinds.
Let's stay
We're
on
going,
that. So
are we
Canopy.
going back
Back-
to
back-
Canopy? I'm
Canopy,
sorry, he
yeah.
got
So-
stuck on Canopy.
So Canopy.
Let me go.
No, I need more information on that. So is it like anybody. So is it like just like a streaming service like with more familiar movies, or is it like more like local movies?
No, it's more niche, but it's also some mainstream films in there as well.
Okay.
You get a certain amount of credits. I think it's per month. I want to
I
say
think
is what
so,
it
yeah.
is, but it's all free with your library card. So if you have a library card with us, you can watch Canopy on any device you have.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you can watch it. Yeah. Okay. At
a
home.
phone, laptop, you set it up to your screen, your TV
Streaming
screen. Yeah,
service.
Okay.
yeah, it works.
And it's free.
It's free.
It's free. I mean, you just need a library card,
Yeah,
which
Which
is
is free,
free.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And then what's some other resources that we know?
We got meeting rooms, of which this event will be in.
Mhm.
We have our study rooms. So if you need to, like, especially in this case, like, hey, we need to have a meeting about the film that we are creating, you can do that at the library for free.
Or if you want to show a film too, that's
If you want to show a
that
film,
works too.
that is
Yeah.
free.
yeah.
We have 41 locations, so you can go to any of them that is local to you, and it's accessible. We also have like all of these I was going to get into books before we got into Canopy, but we do have like books of all kinds because we are a library, despite us not talking that much about the book aspect
Yeah.
of a library. But like we have books of all types of like authors, all kinds of genres. Like that itself is a resource because then you want to learn how to be a filmmaker, you can find a book about
Yeah.
being a filmmaker. Like
Yeah.
those in itself is a resource.
Or biographies about filmmakers too. We have those.
Yeah,
as well.
biographies, and then we also have a lot of online things as well.
Yeah,
and
ebooks,
sometimes we have-
audiobooks. We have different apps called Libby or Canopy where you can borrow ebooks and audiobooks for free.
Oh, wow, okay.
Your library card, that's great. So we have a lot of things.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the challenge with it is that we do have a lot of things.
Mhm.
But the good thing is that for the most part, we're pretty good at finding the thing that whatever person needs. So if you're like, oh, I just really wish I had a place that I can just, do this one thing, then it's like, oh, then you might want to check out this. And it's free. Like, I think a lot of people forget that these kind of things do exist because they think, oh, I have to pay for it in order to use this, or I have to pay for a coffee just to use Wi-Fi at this place. And it's like, we have free Wi-Fi all the time.
Yep.
You can go on YouTube at any time during our open hours. Like,
That's what's up. So it's free painting or not painting,
Free
free printing, free streaming service, basically,
Mhm.
free books, free ebooks.
Yeah, we got free study rooms, free meeting rooms.
Yeah.
For an event though, like if you have like a birthday party, it's a cost.
it costs
But
$50.
Yeah, probably
50
per
bucks.
hour or something like that. So it's
Okay.
super affordable.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's for the whole day. The whole day.
It's changed it recently.
What?
They changed it recently. You can see that?
Uh-oh.
That was like a few months ago. They changed it, I believe.
Was I out of town?
I don't know where you were.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Maine?
And it's no, it's all. I'll show you
Cut this
afterwards.
out.
Cut this
Okay.
out. I'll show you.
I got
But it's a
you.
low cost for like parties, things like that. But if you're having a
Okay.
meeting, things like that, that's always going to be free.
Okay.
Yeah.
That don't even make sense. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It changed
Nah,
recently.
you're
yeah.
good. This is
Changed
it's all good. It's all
recently.
good.
Yeah, I mean, just about anything that you think you might need as a resource, anything that you might like.
Well,
you can
also we have
kinda
events
get it.
too. Events.
And we have all of these
yeah.
events. Like you
book
want to
clubs, story
see,
times, history events. What about local
yeah,
history?
Paul. We
things
need
like
to
that.
make a book club for Black people, so you can make friends.
There are two already.
Where are they at?
North Central has the Sister to Sister book club. And it's an urban fiction book club somewhere else, I believe. So
There
there's
you
two.
go. There you
Yeah.
go.
I don't read like that though. That's
But you
my problem.
can't. Yeah, right.
I can read. Yeah.
Yeah, we have all of these kind of events that are geared to people. We have like the neurodivergent book club. We have like queer book clubs. Like we have ways for communities to come together. But then it's also like we just had an owl like event at the library
Yeah.
where people could just like learn about owls. Like
With actual owls in the
like
the
actual
program.
okay.
ones,
Yeah.
like they're there.
So
We
it
have-
wasn't like an owl that came, like someone like presented an owl and you could pet the owl and
You
Yeah.
couldn't pet it, but you could see it.
It was
You could
like
see it
some-
in the
oh,
post, but
so
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was pretty
Oh.
cool. That
we'll have like real life. We have book authors come in all the time and speak. Like these are things, and people are like coming to it for.
Don't forget
free.
about
Like,
music too. Music.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how can I forget? We have concerts like at least
Hold on,
once or
what?
twice a month,
Mhm.
all of the time. We have Sunday on the Stairs. So this weekend we're gonna have Ricky Nye, who's gonna be performing, and these are just like, and these are local artists too, who are on our social stairs, and they
Mhm.
perform at the downtown library,
Oh
and
wow.
people can come in for free and watch a show for an hour of people who are artists. Like it's so many this.
Mhm.
This is the
That's too
problem with
much.
our
It's too
job.
much to
It's
talk
so,
about.
But
That's
these
why
are
our
things
job is
that,
hard. Yeah.
and I like you that you
Mhm.
highlighted that because these are things that the audience member and patrons need to know because
Yeah.
these are resources that a lot of the resources I didn't even know about. So
Mhm.
for the viewers that are watching, I'm pretty sure like they are thinking ways how they can utilize these free resources that are offered by the library.
Well, one more thing, makerspace as well. Those are very
Oh
important.
my
So like
gosh.
we have recording booths, we have vinyl printers, we have 3D printers, things like that. And those are all either free or low cost to use as well.
Mhm.
You said 3D printers too?
Downtown
Okay.
has one. One other branch has one as
Printers,
well. So yeah,
buttons,
buttons,
In a
UV
recording
printers.
recording studio, you
Yeah,
said.
main
recording
library. We
studio.
have photo background downtown as well. So really cool stuff.
Oh wow. Yeah. Definitely be
And
utilizing some of
also,
those.
yeah, guys, follow our social media because that's how you're gonna know about all of these cool
We're on
events
every
as
major
well.
platform. Yep, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, all those platforms.
And that's the Cincinnati Public Cincinnati Hamilton Public what's the
Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library.
There you
Long
go.
name, but if you do
Yeah.
Cincy Library, that's
Okay.
how you find everything. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so last few questions. If you could bring in any black filmmaker to speak or showcase their work, who would it be and why?
Oh,
I know who yours is.
Mine?
Yeah.
No, it's not that. I mean, yeah, but wait, what do you think?
I'm curious. Who is this person?
No, who okay. No, who's you gonna say and I'll tell you.
No,
I'll tell
no,
you.
go ahead.
No.
You keep
Hold on.
up.
I'm
Oh.
in suspense of it. What's happening?
I
Are you getting
didn't
offended
know.
right now?
No,
What
I'm
is
just
going on?
curious of what you thought I was gonna say.
I was gonna say Shonda Rhimes.
Okay, yeah, okay. No, well, that would be amazing. Absolutely. It
Who-
wasn't what I was gonna say.
Who are you gonna say?
Issa Rae would be great.
Okay, Insecure.
Insecure. Well, she
That
just
was a
came
good
out
show.
of
It was a good show. Yeah.
One of them days.
One of them days,
Mhm.
which I still haven't seen actually, but I really want to. I just need to make the time to
It's
go.
on digital streaming right now.
Where
if
is
you
it
know.
on?
It's on anything. You'd
Oh,
have to
okay.
purchase it, but
Got you.
you don't have to go to the
I want to
movies.
see that.
Yeah.
But
I saw it.
I think she's a great example of that. Like just creating films that is from the Black community and showcases culture, but making it funny and making
Mhm.
it like interesting and realistic or whatever. So I would say Issa Rae.
Who you got, Paul?
I would go with Jordan Peele. I think.
I was gonna
Were you
I
gonna
was
say
gonna
that?
let
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
Yep.
I just really love his films that come out. I just want to know how his mind works. How do you create this
Mhm.
this visuals and cinematography for people to really enjoy? So I would pick him. I would say.
What's your favorite Jordan Peele movie?
I mean, I don't
Come on now.
know.
You don't know.
I mean, Nope was great.
Yes.
Nope was great, but I feel like that's let's go with Nope. Let's go with that.
You
No.
can say Get Out,
Yeah.
Get Out was.
or unless
It
you're
was,
Hold on,
no,
hold
it
on.
was good.
Let him
Well,
cook.
I-
Let him
Get
cook.
Out was
Let him
great.
cook.
It's a great film. It was his first
Let him
film.
cook.
I feel like we're
Yeah.
all biased because that was his first one. I feel like
Hold
the
on,
first
but-
big film,
Biased.
the first big film that came out, right? It's a
Yeah.
great film.
Yeah.
It's a great film, right?
But you don't think it was his best film? I guess
That's a good question. No, good
it's
question.
for
You're
both
right.
of
You're
you.
right.
You don't think it's his best film?
You can argue it's his best film.
Sorry about. Ooh, I'm not
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
You can tell her it's like, wait.
Yeah. Even everybody's like, "What? You tripping right now?" Okay. So you said
I think it is his best film. It's my
Okay.
favorite, not necessarily.
Mm.
But
Okay.
I think that it's a great film. It's an amazing
Interesting.
film.
interesting. What would you rate? What would you rate Get Out?
I would
on a
give it a
scale
9
from-
out of 10.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
great film. It's a great
Okay.
film, yeah. Especially with the racial overtones of that. It's a very important film, I think. So Is it my favorite? I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I would say it's one of those films that once you hit the plot twist, it stays in your mind forever.
Yeah.
Like you can't get that back again. And that was that kind of film for me, where it was like once with the keys, when she did that, it was like, oh, okay, like you can't unfeel that again. So I think that for me it is probably my favorite. I didn't see Us because
I like
felt
Us.
like it was gonna be scary.
It was
Yeah.
some parts were scary, yeah. But I
can't
feel like though
handle
if Get Out was his third film, would it have the same prominence as it does being the first film? We'll never
Ooh.
know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. That's what I'm saying. That's the bias
I
part
see
mean
what you
right
I
mean.
feel
there.
like that's
Yeah.
I feel like if Jordan Peele was Michael Jackson, then Get Out is Thriller.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can argue that.
I agree with that.
I can. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
because it's a thriller.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I see what
okay.
you did there. Okay,
You're welcome.
that's the Montessori school kicking in right
Say corny.
there.
What about you? As
Jordan,
a film?
who'd I bring?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great question. Black filmmaker. I'll say, let me speak into the mic a little bit. Dang, I didn't even think about it. Well, I guess you guys didn't think about it either. I think the first person that comes to my head right now will probably be Michael B. Jordan. Just like what he did with the Creed trilogy
Mhm.
Yeah.
and all that, and have his directorial debut
Mhm.
with Creed 3. And then also in the previous films that he's been in as well.
Mhm.
That would be a good person to bring in to have both aspects from the being on the camera and also behind the camera as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
I love that.
Cool. Alrighty. And then so Insecure was so my bad. Issa Rae. What's your
Mhm.
favorite content from Issa Rae?
Well, I just love Issa Rae anyways. And it's a funny thing because I wasn't it's not even necessarily like I'm like everything that she has done in her career, I watched it, but more so it's like the impact of it. Not saying I didn't want to, it's like an age thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm Gen Z guys, so I not like my sister's a millennial, so she was definitely like into following her career in that way. But I appreciate mostly about her, like I love Insecure. And she has this way of like doubling down on creating the spaces that we want to see ourselves in, more so than even the actual content. But the content is really great. And I think she's just hilarious.
She did produce a film after Insecure with a co-star. I don't remember his name from the show.
Oh, wait.
Lakeith? Talking about
Oh.
Lakeith Stanfield?
Yes, that's what it was.
Okay.
I remember.
Photography or
I love
photographer?
Lakeith Stanfield. Sorry.
And that film too was about a black romance. It was black romance, but not about being black. It's happening to black people. Remember
Oh,
that
I
film?
know what you're
Yeah.
talking
What was
about.
that film called?
Photograph?
Was it
Yeah.
called? Yeah, that's
Yeah. That was really good.
something like that. I want to see more
Mhm.
films like that where people. It's not about.
It's like a love story.
It's a love story, but it's not. You don't have to be black. We just happen to be black in that
Exactly.
case. Yeah.
All right. So, what's one thing you still haven't answered the question, by the way?
What was the
What's
question?
What's your favorite content from Issa Rae? You have to name one
Oh,
off the top of your head right now.
I'll Insecure.
Okay.
Solid.
That was a really good show.
But I did,
Yeah.
yeah. But now you said that, I'm like, is it Photograph? But yeah.
Did you watch the
Insecure.
movie? I didn't watch the movie actually. I never watched it.
I did. I went to the movies to
Was it
see
good?
it.
Yeah.
It was.
Was
Well,
good?
it was sweet because it was like a back and forth. Like I think it was like her mother or something.
Okay.
It was like kind of like a notebook kind of style, of, like reading, like
Was it
going
really?
back and
Okay.
past and then
Only saw the previous
forward,
ones,
yeah.
Actually. Okay.
it was a really good movie.
All right, should I watch it?
It was just a while ago.
Yeah.
Should I watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. for
Okay.
sure.
Not a big romance fan, but I watch it for her.
Aw.
So yeah.
So, what's one thing you hope people take away from this event, whether they are a filmmaker or just film lovers?
Well, you answer first.
Okay. I hope that people take away that this kind of industry exists here and that there are platforms for it. And it doesn't, your dreams are valid if you want to be an the film industry, or if you are a filmmaker, you don't have to wait for someone to pick you. Like, you can just connect with people like us, and we will at least like very much help support the art that you have, as long as it's
But how do-
appropriate, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But
if I'm a Black filmmaker, how do I get in touch with folks like yourself?
contact the library. I mean,
Yeah, there's-
you can literally call the library. And be
Call,
like,
you
"We
can send a
want to-"
message
You
on
can send a
Facebook or
message,
social media.
Social media.
I'll see it right away.
You can-
So we'll connect you to the right people.
You can email
Yeah.
me at Kennedy. Wait, is it dot? Yeah.
Yes, that's
Kennedy.mcpherson@chpl.org. Or if
Okay.
you're just interested in any event that we have at the library, I am the PR specialist, and I can definitely help people get connected. But overall, yeah, there is just so many possibilities that can happen. Like, you never know if you're showing your film one day, someone who has really big film connections are going to happen to be there. You don't have to go all the way to Hollywood to do this. You don't even have to go
Yeah.
all the way to Atlanta to, be in the film industry. You can
Yeah.
continue to build here.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would.
You have an answer now,
I
Paul?
don't
You-
know, I can't top that at all. I mean, same thing as Kennedy said, basically.
Yeah.
It's just that we want people to like take away that you can make connections. There are people here who are like you in the industry, film industry here. So we just hope that by attending this event, you're able to see people like you make connections and able to see great films from local Black filmmakers and become inspired.
Cool.
What do you hope that people take away?
It's about supporting Black filmmakers. Yeah. That's it.
Period.
Okay, short and simple.
Yeah. So
That's the only part you need to put in the podcast, actually.
just put
Just
that
our intro and then
support Black filmmakers.
That's all you need.
and That's
Done.
it. Yep.
follow the library.
Alrighty. So is there anything else you want to tell patrons, the audience, before we wrap up?
Come to the Black Film Series event that will be at the Forest Park branch on Thursday,
Yeah, February
February
27th,
27th.
5:30 to 8 p.m.
And support the library. Come get a library card. Hang out with us. We have amazing library staff throughout our entire county and city. So, yeah, interact.
Yeah.
Make connections.
Make
Yep.
connections.
Mhm.
Minds
Yeah.
of all kinds.
Yes.
So besides the screenings, what other things could people look forward to at the?
We will have a women's health fair next week, and that's Saturday, March 1st.
Okay.
Free event, and there will be a lot of opportunities for people who attend to like get actual advice from doctors or do meditation, do yoga. So you can definitely check that out. This comes out by that point.
Yeah.
And we always are having things coming up. We'll have winter checkout challenges ending. So if you haven't signed up already, you can.
Mhm.
All of these things can be found out on our library website and our social media. And
Website is chpl.org.
yeah, and then we can also send you links.
Okay. I was meaning like besides the screening at the event, what other things can people look forward to?
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant like at the library events overall.
No, my bad. Sorry about that. Let me.
I'm so sorry,
No,
guys.
I know the same thing too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was that. Yeah.
I am not fully on. Yeah. Along with seeing the films at the Black Film Series, there will be a panel, a Q&A with the filmmakers. Our guest will be Dev Thompson. I need your help with this. Silas
yeah.
Tibbs.
No, so the guests will be Dev Thompson, Alicia Redmond, Vernard Fields, and Silas Tibbs.
Yeah. And we'll have a host pending.
Yeah.
Of who the person will be, but we will have one. And there's also a lot of opportunity to just like connect and collaborate. But really, like, come and just like if you want to see a film,
Mhm.
you can see films.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can see the kind of art that's being made here.
Absolutely. Is that you guys done?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
That's
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Also,
You're gonna
so-
have to edit a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we keep everything on this show. We keep everything. We don't edit anything. So
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'll edit some stuff out. So it'll definitely be. Alrighty. So, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. It's another episode of Fresh Film Talk. I'm your host, Lavelle Revels. And if you want to see more videos like this one, remember to like, comment, subscribe. And always remember, stay fly, stay humble, and stay fresh. Peace.